stand when life gets hard. I want to have a leadership conversation that's really inspired by Dr. King in honor of MLK Day today. At the time of this recording, we are celebrating and honoring the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Now, in this particular conversation, I really want to explore how we as leaders, we as entrepreneurs, business owners, we as creatives, or just individuals that are looking to better themselves, I want to explore how we can effectively navigate uncertainty, opposition, pressure, and adversity. Because the truth of the matter is, leadership isn't just revealed when things are easy, when things seem quote unquote quote convenient. But ultimately, leadership is really revealed when our values are tested, when the road gets rocky, right? When life becomes challenging. I want to discuss how character and courage and conviction needs to show up in these difficult moments for us to make monumental progress towards the things that we value and the things that matter the most to us, and how we can grow as leaders when we stand firm on what we believe in and what we prioritize in our life and the things that we value. This broadcast ultimately is going to be an invitation for us to reflect, for us to reset, and in some cases, for many of us, to recommit to what really matters the most so that we can lead with purpose even during the times when it's the hardest. There's a quote by Dr. King. It's one of my most favorite quotes. In fact, it's right behind me if you guys can see. Let me get my directions right. There we go. It's right there. You can see Dr. King's face on that. But in that Dr. King, words all over the place. In that quote, Dr. King said that the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but it's where he stands in times of challenge and controversy. Beverly, I think that's worth repeating. Dr. King said, the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in times of comfort and convenience, but it's where he stands in moments of challenge and controversy. My question to you is this: how do you handle life's adversities? How are you standing when the pressure begins to arise? When the struggle becomes real? What is your response? Or in some cases, what is your reaction? How are you confronting those uncomfortable moments? Because the truth of the matter is this: if you're aiming to experience more in life, if your goal and objective is to become the best version of yourself, Mia, if you're aiming to improve the quality of your life or to create a positive experience, or in some cases, you're looking to break generational cycles and reinvent your reality, you're going to be met with some form of resistance. There's going to be some form of opposition. There may be some pressure that begins to build. There may be times when you feel weak and you may doubt yourself. There may be struggles that begin to arise and you question, do you have the strength? And really the question is, how do you respond in those moments? Because it's what you do when life becomes hard that ultimately will dictate the trajectory of your life. It's what you do when the struggle does get real that will often dictate the direction that you take your life. Because for so many of us, right, like think about it, at the time of this recording, we're about 17, 18 days into the new year. And for many people, they're resorting back to their old patterns. You came up with New Year's resolutions, goals that you told yourself you were going to achieve, objectives that you said you were going to accomplish, things that you said you were going to do. The motivation was high at the top of the year, but then you get hit with some form of resistance, some form of opposition, and that motivation is starting to die off. And life is becoming difficult. It's what you do in these moments that matters the most. It's the decisions that you make when you hit rock bottom or your back is up against the wall that truly matters the most. So the question is, D1, how should we respond? D1, how should we approach adversity? D1, how should we stand when times get hard? Dustin, I'm glad you asked that question because I'm going to give us two concepts that I believe we can apply right now that will help us lead effectively, even in faces of opposition and challenge and resistance. You guys ready to take this journey with me? Put a number one in the comments below if you're ready to take this step. Only if you're serious, right? Only if you're fully committed. If we're serious about becoming the best version of ourselves, then we need to apply these two concepts. And I got to make sure that everybody's on the same page. Put a number one in the chat below if you're ready to take that journey. I see them. Let's go. First one is this, family. As it relates to us standing firm when times get hard, here's a decision that we have to make internally, right? This is between you and you. You have to make the decision that you're going to have your character preside over your comfort. In other words, character over comfort. Everybody comment below that statement. Your character over comfort. Anybody can take a stand when it's easy. Anybody can take a stand when it's comfortable, when it's convenient. Anybody can take a stand, right, when you feel positive, when the success is flowing in your direction, when the opportunities are being presented unto you. But will you take a stand when times become difficult? Will you take a stand when nobody believes in what you believe in? Will you take a stand when other people call you crazy and out of your mind for seeing a tomorrow that's better than today? Will you take a stand when you're trying to disrupt those old patterns and step into something new and everybody else is trying to pull you back, right? Beverly, like that crabs in a barrel mentality. You know what I mean? Will you take a stand? We as impactful leaders have to make the executive decision that we are going to have comfort be put to the side and allow our character to rise to the occasion. I don't know about you, but there's been moments in my life where I allowed comfort to make my decisions for me. When it became too difficult, when times became stressful, when life became overwhelming, it was easy to resort back to what was comfortable. But if we are serious about leveling up, if we're serious about making an impact, it's gotta be character over comfort. Think about the man that we're celebrating and honoring today, right? Yeah, we're celebrating him now, but at one point in time, this was a man that was highly disliked. This was a man that was on the top of the list for the FBI because he chose character over comfort. He spoke out against things that other people just accepted to be the status quo. He had a dream, even though other people didn't want that dream to become a reality, all because he made the executive decision to have character over comfort. That's how we stand firm when life gets hard. That's number one. Number two is this, family. We have to consciously understand that you don't rise in crisis, you simply reveal your preparation. Everybody comment below, reveal your preparation. Another way to put it is this. Think about it from this perspective. You don't simply rise to the occasion. You default to your training. What are you doing now to prepare yourself for the moments that are going to challenge you? Because again, you're not just going to snap the finger and muster up courage and have strength. No, this is something that you develop over time, right? That's like, Ray, you going into the gym, right? And you want to bench 225, but you haven't benched in quite some time. And then all of a sudden, one day you just pop up in the gym. You're like, man, rack those weights up. No, your muscles haven't been trained for this, right? You haven't positioned yourself to be able to endure the capacity of this weight. It's going to overwhelm you. So in essence, those individuals that respond effectively to challenges, they prepare themselves for this moment. I've got written here in my notes, integrity is built in private, not in public moments. Daily decisions shape how we respond under pressure, and leadership is practiced long before it is required. In other words, what are you doing right now to prepare yourself for that moment? Yeah, because we have highly ambitious people that are tuning into this broadcast. We have great leaders that are tapped into our community, and many people are wishing for a greater level of success, but you can't just wish for it. You got to work for it, right? Like you've got to put yourself in the best possible position to be in alignment with what it is that you are aiming to experience. Are you developing your mindset to be able to handle that next level? Are you integrating and adopting habits that will support your goals and your vision? Are you putting yourself in environments that will assist you in being effective and becoming that leader that you want to become? In other words, are you reinventing how you show up to prepare yourself for that moment when the road will get rocky and the times do challenge you? If you don't put yourself in position right now to be able to handle adversity for tomorrow, when adversity presents itself, it may be overwhelming. So you got to learn to affirm yourself, encourage yourself, surround yourself with like minded individuals that share a common goal to become the best version of who they want to be. Connect with people that don't just tell you good luck, but surround yourself with people that tell you don't you give up. Because again, leadership, we don't rise in crisis, we simply reveal our preparation. I've said a lot during this conversation, and I'll wrap it up by asking this question: who are you under pressure? Who are you when life gets hard? If you can honestly say, you know what, D1, I can be better at responding at adversity. I can be better at rising to the occasion when life tests me. I can be better when things don't go my way and I get discouraged and disappointed, and I allow those discouragements to put me in a state of defeat. Now's the time for you to make the necessary adjustments. Even deeper than that, let's bring it full circle as we celebrate and honor the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. This is a man that stood firm on what he believed in. He stood firm on a cause. He stood firm for people like you and I to be able to benefit for what he was advocating for. Somebody somewhere is counting on you to stand firm. Somebody somewhere is counting on you to place your character over comfort. Somebody somewhere is waiting for you to put yourself in the best possible position to serve and to create an impact. Are you going to answer the call? Or are you simply just going to resort back to what's convenient and what's comfortable and what you're accustomed to? Again, what we have to understand is that the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in times of comfort and convenience, but it's where he stands in times of challenge and controversy. In 2026, there's a lot of challenges. In 2026, there's a lot of controversy. In 2026, there's a lot of conflict, not just in our personal lives, but collectively in society. And the world is waiting on you to show up, to live, to stand on what is right. As Dr. King once said, the time is right to always do what is right. Right now is the time for you literally to stand up for what you believe in, for you to advocate for people that don't have a voice, for you to stand firm on making a positive difference in the world in which we live. The days of you just tolerating your comfort, right? Entertaining what's convenient, they got to be disrupted right now, because the world is waiting on you to show up with your gifts, your talents, your mission, your purpose, your calling, and to make a positive outcome and a positive difference in the world in which we live. So today, as we honor the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King, the best way for you to honor it is for you to carry it on. Carry it on. Handle that torch and keep moving forward. As I believe Mia said earlier, keep moving forward. I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to keep taking steps. I'm going to keep growing. I'm going to keep evolving. I'm going to keep pressing towards that prize so I can make a positive difference in the world in which I live. If you slid in this broadcast and I was unable to give you a shout out, be sure to comment below. And if in fact this is your first time, or maybe it's your first time in a long time, I welcome you. And I want to shout you out as well. Put a number 1 in the chat if you will, please. And then place your first name afterward. Again, place the number 1 in the chat and then put your first name afterward. I'm hoping that somebody somewhere found some value in this conversation. If you were picking up what I was putting down, put some fists up in the chat below. Let me know that you received what it is that we spoke on and it resonated with you. But most importantly, let me know that you're going to apply what we discussed to your life as you lead forward and step into your calling and your purpose. I missed a whole bunch of comments. Nothing personal, y'all. I was just in the zone. Reveal preparation. Absolutely, Natalie. Integrity is built in private. There we go, Dustin. Natalie, again, glad to have you tapped in live, sis. Excellent, excellent. Family, it's not too late for you to share this out with the people that you do care about. Again, share this out on Facebook. Share it out on Twitter. Share this out on LinkedIn. And for those watching this on YouTube, hit the like button. We truly appreciate that. And then share the link out with at least 3 people that you personally know that can benefit from this conversation. Now, as we do conclude and wrap things up, if we have yet to connect on other platforms, what are we waiting for? Connect with your boy. I'm at D, the number one Gibson, pretty much on all platforms, including Instagram as well as Facebook. You've heard me reference my YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe there. That's where all of my long form content is available. Short films and documentary series that I produce. That's youtube.com/David Gibson. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn. And for more information on my speaking and coaching services, be sure to tap in on the website. That's www.elevationisAmust.com. And again, frequently I get asked how individuals can contribute monetarily to our mission. You can connect with me on Cash App. That's $D, the number one Gibson. We truly appreciate your support. Again, $D, the number one, and then Gibson. With all that being said, family, listen, if you're off today, enjoy your day. If you're working, work hard, be diligent, and enjoy your day. Have a phenomenal Monday. But before we do wrap this thing up, if you find yourself in a difficult situation or a challenging experience, just remember that this too shall pass. So put a smile on your face this Monday. Stick your chest out and keep persisting until you succeed. Remember, this is where it counts the most. Somebody in this broadcast is saying, D1, the struggle is real. I'm falling apart. My back is up against the wall. This sounds good, but really you have no idea what I'm experiencing. I need you to understand this is not your breaking point. It's your making point. And I may not know what you're experiencing right now. I may not even know you personally, but what I do know is this. Whatever stands in front of you and whatever stands behind you, it ain't got nothing compared to the power that's at work within you. What I need you to do is stand up with that power. Move with that power. Lead with that power. Overcome with that power. Like a man that made up his mind that he's going to succeed, a woman that makes up her mind that she's going to become victorious is a dangerous force to be reckoned with. You got to make the executive decision that it ain't over until I win. It's not over until I succeed. And with that mentality, you can accomplish anything that you set your mind to. Don't get me started to keep this thing going. But family, again, keep your head up, stick your chest out, and keep building momentum towards what it is that you value. If nobody else tells you that they love you today, remember your brother from another mother, D1 Gibson, has nothing but love for each and every single one of you. With all of that being said, let's wrap this thing up. My brother from another mother, Dr. G, is in the building tonight. Salute to you, King. Hope all is well with you. You're like, D1, why are you yelling into the microphone? If you know, you know. Just connect with my guy, Dr. G. Definitely always spreading positive vibes, discussing relationships, not just with your companion, but with yourself, with your money, and relationships all across the globe, man. Relationships with food, all of that, man. Highly encouraging. So definitely connect with my brother again. Dr. G is in the building. Got to catch up soon, brother. But again, family, I appreciate each and every single one of you all. Tanisha, glad to see you. Dustin, glad to see you as well. Ray, glad to have you tapped in live. Shalia, Mia, everybody, Marie. And for those that I missed, my apologies, but grateful for your support. Again, share this out with the people that you do care about. Enjoy your MLK Day this Monday. Let's be effective, be successful, live with some passion, and most importantly, be powerful. My name is David Gibson, checking out. We'll be back at it next Monday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.